Hello, in this video I'm going to show you data pre-processing, how to handle missing values in a data set if you have the data set that has missing values. So let's begin. Let's import pandas as pd. Let's run it. Let us read our data set pd.read. Our data set is called Titanic. It's a famous data set about the Titanic ship. So titanic.csv. Let me store this in a variable called df. So let us run it. Let us see our data set by running df. So here is the data set. It consists of the passenger ID, those that survive in the ship, those that didn't survive, that's 0 didn't survive, 1 survived, the passenger class did first class, their name, their sex, their age, and so on. So let's see the first 5 rows using the .head function. The head function shows you the 5 rows of the data. So before we check the missing data, let's check the shape. df.shape. This one will tell us the shape, that's how many rows and columns the data set has. You can see it has 891 rows and 12 columns. Let us check df.info. So this one will show us the data type. This one will show us, you see the data type, that's the passenger ID is an integer, means whole number. Object here means float, that's object here means string, and float means decimal. So these are non-nulls, that means those that are not missing. So to check if the data set has missing data, we're going to write df.isNA, then .any. We'll run it and see. You can see it shows a boolean expression of true and false. Those that have missing data, it will show true. Those that doesn't have, it will show false. You can see the age, cabin, and the embark column all have missing data. To check the amount of missing data in each column, you're going to write df.isNA.sum. Instead of any, you now write sum. So you can see here the columns with 0 means they don't have missing data. You can see the age column has 177 missing data, the cabin has 687 missing data, and the embark has 2 missing data. So there are 2 ways of handling missing data. You can either fill in the missing data or you can remove rows that have missing data. Let's try the first one. Let's remove rows that have missing data. We're going to write df.drop NA. So we're going to write axis is equals to 0, means drop rows that have missing data. We're going to store this in a variable called df2. You run it, then let's check df2. So here is df2. You can see here the rows has reduced to 183 from 891. Let me just show you. Let me compare it side by side with the other one. df.shape, that's our first data frame, comma df2.shape, that's the second one. Let's compare them. You can see our first data frame was 891 rows and 12 columns. The second one, after we drop rows that contain missing value, it dropped to just 183 and still with the 12 columns. So we have lost significant amount of data. It won't be right for our analysis. So let's try the other one. Let's fill in the missing data with a value. So we are going to use df dot fill na. I'm going to write df dot mean, then numeric equals to true. What I mean here, I'm telling, let us store it in a variable called df3. What I'm doing here is that I'm telling I'm writing a code that telling pandas that it should fill in the missing data of the numeric column with the mean. So let's write df3. you can see the age column here at 888 has been filled with the mean of that column. So the mean is 229.6999118. Let's check the age column and see. So that df dot is na dot sum. Let's see this df3. You can see the age column doesn't have missing data, but the cabin and the embark have missing data because they are not numeric column, they are string column, they are objects. So to fill in the missing data for the object, that's the cabin and the embark, we are going to write df3 dot fill na. We are going to fill it with the mode, with the highest, the frequency, the number with the highest frequency. So mode, we are going to fill it with the first mode iLock. Because there are so many modes, we are going to fill it with the first mode, so with the one with 0. So let's fill it, let's run it and see. So we'll store this one in a variable called df4 so that it will be easy. So let's check df4 dot is na dot any. Let's check and see. You can see it is all false, there is no any missing data. So let's check by using sum df4 dot is na dot sum. So let's check and see. You can see everything has become 0. Our missing data has been filled up with the mode and the mean of each of the column. That's how to handle missing data using Pandas.